Going live. All right. I think I might start calling these segments Walking with Average Joe. What do you think? And some Oreo cookies. Just one. Just one. Just one. That's the whole idea about sweets is it's okay to have a little bit. Problem is having too much of it. It's easy to do because your body craves it. You have these hormones. Sugar drops goes up, insulin drops, it goes up. Play the roller coaster of sugar instead of letting your liver do doing all the sugar. But hey, as far as I know, we only live once. All right, so out here, hopefully I don't get run over. Well, what are we gonna talk about? Talking about today, knee pain. That's right, knee pain. So, just like it was with the back, actually, walking actually is a good thing for knee pain too. As long as we're not dealing with man, it's windy out here. If you're dealing with bone-on-bone knee pain, you're better off maybe pool therapy, reducing the weight, getting in the water. If you're up to your hips in the water, you're moving about 50% of your body weight. If you get up to about your chest height in the water, you're moving only about 10% of your body. So, let's say you weigh 200 pounds, you're really only putting force on your joints about 20 pounds. So, you can see where if you have a lot of knee pain, losing weight's the most important thing to do because I've said this in videos before. For every 1 pound you're overweight, 4 pounds of pressure on your knees. So if you weigh 50 pounds more than you should, that's 50 times 4. That's the force on those knee joints every step you take. So, so yeah, getting the weight off is the most important thing for knee pain. I mean, they can do injections, they can pull fluid off from your knees. Let's talk about the types of knee pain. I already talked about one, arthritic knee pain. There's two types of arthritis, really. We're talking about knees. I mean, there's more, but that's going into the weeds. Osteoarthritis, or OA, call it the old man's or old woman's arthritis, or they's arthritis. We didn't get me started on that. That's a confused generation if I ever saw one. I thought they said my generation was confused. That's funny. At least we knew what sex we were. Oh, don't get me started. Oh man. Anyways, so you have osteoarthritis in the knees, which is basically the cartilage, the lining of the bones have this nice thin film of cushion on them. And when the cushion wears out, it goes on the bone on bone. So that's one kind, the osteoarthritis, old person's. And then you have RA, and that's called rheumatoid arthritis. And that can affect any joint in your body as well as any organ. People forget that with rheumatoid arthritis. That can affect any organ in the body. So, so those are the two main types in the knees, osteoarthritis and rheumatoid. Both of them really are inflammatory based, would give you a knee pain. Like I said, it's the weight. Oh, I got a one thumbs up. Well, hello. Let's see. Can I see anybody on this thing? Probably not. Let's see. Top chat. It's Tuber Chat. Connects and grow words up. Well, thank you, Tuber Chat. So if you have any questions about knee pain, you got a guy right here doing it for free. It's interesting what people will watch on TV, or in this case, on their phones, or mobile devices they call them now instead of calling them phones. But I digress. So we talk about those two, osteo and rheumatoid arthritis of the knees, and what can you do for both of those? One, you have to reduce the weight, which means you have to get out and start walking. Just a light little walk, not doing any running, because too much pressure on those knees is going to kill them. But for every 1 pound you're overweight, it's 4 pounds of pressure on your knees. And if you can start to lose that weight off those knees, your knees will generally feel better. Now, people always say, I've lost weight, my knee pain still hurts. This is what they're forgetting. They're forgetting the activity level that they're currently at is much higher than it was previously when they were hurting a lot in their knees. So yes, the more activity you do, if you still have that inflammatory process, which you will, because unless you have your knees done or you have some sort of like invasive treatment done to your knees, then yeah, you're still going to be dealing with that inflammatory process. So the most important thing you can do is watch what type of food you eat that are inflammatory based. Because that Oreo cookie I just had, just one, has a lot of inflammation. It's all chemicals. It's all processed. There's not a single nutritional fact in that stupid Oreo cookie that that your body's actually going to process into something somewhat healthy. I'm going to burn it off here in probably the next 15 minutes or so walking around versus storing it as a fat cell. So, so that is when we talk about those two types of issues in your knees, OA and RA, the inflammatory process is huge. So they'll always talk about icing. They'll always talk about maybe some steroid injections, some ibuprofen, some Aleve. See, those are all trying to slow down or reduce the inflammatory process in those knees. Well, guess what? You're just chasing the symptoms, and you have to go to the source. So the source of really trying to affect it is what I discussed: reducing the weight, which is going to reduce the pressure. Okay, that's a huge. It's a huge. It's tough to do. Don't get me wrong. If it was easy to do, there'd be a lot of thin people out there. But if you really are having a lot of pain in your knees, you have to first start out by either getting in the water or getting on a bicycle, some way to offload the joint while you start to exercise and try and start to burn some of that fat off, so you have less weight on those knees. So there's that one. This is a terrible view, isn't it? Anyways, um, beep 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 beep. Oh, it turns on. Look at that car. It turns on by itself. It's Knight Rider. And anyways, so that's the OA piece and the RA piece. Some people will try braces, knee braces, whether it's a neoprene sleeve brace. I always call them knee warmers because they don't really do anything for that knee pain at all. It's all sensory based. I had some taping techniques in a couple of my knee videos. They'll help a little bit if you're just having kneecap pain. But if you're having truly, a flare up of your osteo or rheumatoid arthritis of the knees, taping techniques, neoprene braces ain't going to do nothing for that. It's not going to reduce the pain, anyways. And if it does, it's probably a placebo effect. Which, hey, I guess placebo is better than nothing. If your pain's less, then your pain's less. But if you want to ground it on reality, it shouldn't help it at all. Hey, how you doing? So the OA and the RA, those are the two things. Um, those are probably the most important pieces of it too. If I was to see you and you were going to pay me to give you some advice on those two types of knee pains, that's what it would be. And that's can't beat professional advice for free. So that's a kicker right there. Um, what do you do if your knee pain's so bad that you can't walk? Is that constant? That's the first thing I'm thinking. Okay, because it's probably not constant. That's your not referring to constant that you're not having knee pain, but the fact that it's affecting your function so bad that you can't walk on your knees. So that's huge. Guess no one coming here. All right, stop. What's the next thing we're going to talk about here for a second? Whoops, don't want to do that. Don't want to erase already. Ooh, nice out here, but it sure is windy. So I'm out here walking, talking about knee pain. How do we get rid of it? What are some of the causes of it? Talk about two main ones. Oh wait, what happens if you're just doing too much kneeling? One of those what I define as the weekend warrior syndrome, where you're out working on maybe a car or a truck like my father. That's a story for. That's what I should start doing. Some of the stories that's in my head. Probably do a whole other channel on that. But if you're doing a lot of kneeling, I did have a video out there that talked about reducing pain with kneeling, different types of techniques and treatment processes that you can do to reduce your knee pain if you have to do a lot of kneeling. Because right where, I'm going to switch it here for a second, right where that little tendon is right there, what we call the patellar tendon, some people call it patellar ligament. We can discuss that too. But that right there is very sensitive, having those two. And if you're doing a lot of kneeling and you have maybe what they call Osgood-Schlatter's when you were a kid, which means there's a growth plate, then that will kill you too. So Osgood-Schlatter's is no joke. And it's also just an inflammatory process that should resolve itself as you age. But then you could be dealing with excessive bone growth that you had there when you were a kid, and all of a sudden now it's killing you. So it can really bother your knee after a while. But if your thoughts are of, hey, what the heck's going on with these knees and they're hurting so bad, what can I do? Those are the treatment techniques. So I'll leave you guys here about 12, 13 minutes. If you have any questions, you can always DM me down below. And until next time, I want you to look up and keep smiling. See you, folks.